and welcome. This is the Silent K, and today we're going to be jumping into some MegaMek. The same MegaMek, in fact, that we've been trying to jump into for some time now. I do apologize for not streaming last week. I did have some personal issues come up. I was not able to use this space last week. And for those of you who are just watching on YouTube, I know it probably seems as though I haven't been trying lately, but I promise you I have. For the people who aren't on Discord, well, if you had been on Discord, you would have been a little bit behind the scenes. You would have been kept up to date on the updates and things and known when I was going to stream and when I was trying to stream and when I wasn't able to stream. So, with that in mind, we are trying one more time on this battle, this frontline engagement that is due today. The officer and the commander have bid away 1 unit, and the reinforcements have bid away 2 units, but that is not how we are going to play it. Instead, I think the way we are going to play it is the enemy Opfor is going to bid away half of their units, which is a total of 5 units, versus 1-2 units for the commander and officer, which they had originally planned on bidding away. But that brings the battle value down to about 24,000 and some, which is about in line with what we are trying to bring to this battle, which is, I think, about 26,000 and some. I did quit early the other week when I was playing because things were not going my way, and I do apologize for that. I'll try to do better this week. In the meantime, we are deploying in the west, I believe. Yes, Tonga Lance is deploying in the west, and Galatea is deploying in the southeast. Their reinforcements are deploying in the south. And that is a total of 3 mechs, a Warhammer C2, a Thug 11EB, and a Black Knight 6KNT. The half of the enemy Opfor that we're going to be eliminating is going to be every other mech when sorted by battle value. So that'll be, the way it lines up is the glass spider that's worth less points and the rifleman 2C that's worth less points will both be eliminated. The one of each of those that is going to be worth more points is going to stay in the battle, as well as several other mechs. Let's try and full screen this, and we'll click OK here. And we'll do the compact display. And like I said, we're going to be having the Opfor force. So that's going to be this Phoenix Hawk, the Kintaro, the Hunchback 2C, the Galahad. Wait, hold on. No, that is going to be this Galahad, and the Hunchback, and the Rifleman, not the Kintaro. Okay, so the... Wait, hold on. Oh, that's opposite of what I wanted. Okay, so for Team 2 Clan Wolf Opfor, we've got the second half of every pair being eliminated. That is the Rifleman 2C, that is the one with the 4 large pulse lasers, that is the Galahad with the 2 large pulse lasers and the 2 medium pulse lasers, that is the Lynx with the ERPPC and the large laser and 4 medium lasers, that is the Phoenix Hawk Special with the ER large and the 2 mediums and the snub nose, and that is the Kintaro with the 2 SRM6s and the Narc, as well as 2 medium lasers. The ones we are keeping are the Thresher with an Ultra AC 10. Oh, dang it. Let me go ahead and delete these guys first. The ones we are keeping are the Thresher with the Ultra AC 10, 2 SRM 6s and 2 medium pulses and an ER medium. We've got the Hunchback 2C with the 2-3 Pilot with the 2 Ultra AC 10 20s and 10 shots worth of ammo, so he's going to be very much in the glass cannon quotient. We've got the Glass Spider with 2 Gauss rifles. We got a Hunchback 2C with, again, 2 Ultra AC 20s and 2 ER mediums. That one with a 3-4 Pilot. And a Rifleman 2C, which has 4 Ultra AC 20s. We're keeping all of those. We're also keeping all of the reinforcements. That's the Warhammer C2, the Black Knight 6KNT, and the Thug 11B. We're keeping the Commander and the Officer. That is the Stormcrow Prime, which has 2 ER larges and 3 ER mediums. We're keeping the Lynx 9Q with the ER PVC and the large. Does that add up? 26, 16, 23. Yeah, I think that about adds up. We should be able to handle this kind of forces. We're bringing 2 lances. They're bringing essentially 2 lances plus 2. So 2 stars, essentially. But they're starting with 7, getting 3 on the rebound. And we should have re-rolled the darkness, but we did, we have lost initiative badly. Let's try, because we should. Let us try that again. Alright. We're taking out the Thug. No, not that. No, we'll take out the Thug too. Frig it. Yeah. The Thug can go too. And then the map, we can go planetary conditions. We're going from full moon night to dusk dawn. And that is how we are deploying for once and for all. This is final. If this doesn't work out, we'll just scrap the mission entirely. Screw it. We have 1 initiative, but we are going before our defenses. We've got the Cestus, the Warhammer, the Archer coming in, and the Marauder coming in on turn 4. In the meantime, Ash's Archer with the 464 movement profile. Go there. We've got a Kintaro, we've got a Galahad. We'll have the Stalker fall in behind. We'll have the Grizzly fall in on the side. And Hoser, of course, will fall in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's also not great. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's not ideal, but it'll have to do. We've got units deploying on round 4. We have lost initiative going into round 1. Okay. And that does mean that we are going first. So Ash will go forward. Now Ash only has medium lasers. So yeah, she's gonna go ahead and sprint. Tugyu and the Stalker will also go ahead and sprint forward for a total of 5 hexes. Tsubasa will sprint forward, I guess, 6 hexes. And Hoser, I guess 4 hexes is the most we can get out of 6 MPs. And yeah, everyone will be sprinting this turn. We'll be spreading out just a little bit, and we won't be able to fire anything. Huh. Okay, no one fired anything this turn. No one built up any heat this turn. Alright, we've got 26, they've got 33. 33. They were not supposed to have 33,000 points. And also, why are we at 98.58? Did we lose? That's not right. Let me check Discord real quick. Uh, 24,718. Having the enemy Opfor units. Okay, well, that's what we did, but now they're at 33,000. Someone missing armor? Yeah, I think the Marauder might be missing some armor. But more importantly, I'm concerned with the fact that Team 2 has 33,000 points when they should be at 28,000 points. And that 5,000 points could make a pretty significant difference. Given that it's like, 12 or 13% of their total force. And it's like 20% of our total force. I'm not sure what's going on here. I did the math. I flipped the Discord again. Okay, yeah, I did the math. By removing the reinforcements, we're at 28,736. By having the Opfor units, we should be at 24,718. By removing everything but the Opfor, by having the Opfor and the reinforcements, by having the Opfor and removing the officer and commander, by having the Opfor and the reinforcements and removing the officer and commander. They should be at 24,718. They started at 36,000. We removed more than 3,000. Alright, Ash, trying to advance as much as possible. The Lynx coming to close in. Stalker, moving at a sprint. 6 movement points, 5 hexes. Tsubasa. Grizzly, 464, can jump 4 hexes. Hoser, running forward. Can get eyes on the Lynx. Alright, Ash, no targets in range. Stalker, Tugyu. So we've got the Lynx. Oh, we sprinted this turn. Tsubasa and the Grizzly jumped, so we've got the Lynx on an 11. And a 9. And an 11. And Tsubasa has the Lynx on a trio of 8s. Yes, we will definitely be taking those. And we'll be hoping for a headshot. It's not going to happen, but we can hope. The Lynx misses the Archer on an 11. The Phoenix Hawk misses the Archer on a 12. The Galahad misses the Archer on a 10 and lands an 11 to the left arm for 5 points, down to 17 armor. The Grizzly missed on 11s and 9s. The Lynx missed on a 12. Hoser on 8s. Missed with everything. And I throw away the paper that I did the math on, so well, that was unfortunate. Alright, we're at 98.5. They're still at 100%. We've lost initiative going into round 3. Ash can jump 4 hexes, I guess. Tsubasa will jump 4 hexes as well, I suppose. Just ranging the unit. Yeah, okay. We'll give you that. We'll see if 2 hexes is enough to maintain LOS. I don't know if it is, given that he's on hex level 2. Those are level 0. Oh, if we stand still, we've got the hunchbacks. Yeah, we're gonna stand still this turn. We're gonna unleash. Okay, so starting with Hoser. We've got the Hunchback that jumped 4 with a TMM of 2, 28-21 battle value, 22-16, 28-21 is going to be the one we're shooting at. We'll go 6, 6, 6, and 6. That'll put us 10 heat over. But that's fine. If we can get that ammo, that'll be totally worth it. Ash at the Lynx, we've got him on 11s. The Stalker has the links on 11s as well with the ER larges. And the LRM 5s. Tsubasa at the links has him on 9s with the Gauss rifle. Has him on a 7 with the large pulse and a 9 with the medium. And a 9 with the LRMs. So hopefully something of that lands. Maybe the large pulse. Alright, well, Hoser at the Hunchback lands 2 out of 4 on 6s. Not ideal. But we did destroy the left arm and we did do damage to the right torso. The Lynx on a 9 hits the Stalker in the left arm for 10 down to 18. The Archer at the Lynx on 11s missed with everything, it looks like. The Galahad missed the Stalker on a pair of 12s. The Stalker missed the Lynx on a pair of 11s. Did land some LRMs to the left leg and right leg for 3 each. Tsubasa missed the Gauss, missed the large pulse. The medium pulse did land on the left torso for 7. Down to 13 armor there on the Lynx. The LRM 10 missed. The Hunchback 2C took 20 plus, needs a 4, gets a 7 to stay standing. The Rifleman 2C is at 5 heat. Wait, did we not get rid of one of the Riflemans? Hoser is at 10 heat, that's fine. We've lost initiative, we are going first. Oh, and we're deploying this turn. Okay, so we're gonna put our Rifleman behind his Rifleman. Huh. We're gonna put our Cestus in these woods. We're gonna put our Archer in this hex, facing down this way. And the Marauder we will face behind the Galahad. This Rifleman has 2C2 is the Ultra AC2. Okay, so yeah, that works for me. I don't mind having the AC2s in my back. It would be the large pulse lasers that I don't want in my back. Alright, first to move is going to be Hoser. Hoser will move forward 1 hex per the rules he is permitted. The Grizzly will move forward 5 hexes and get eyes on the Hunchback. Ash will jump. No, Ash would like to wait for the Lynx to try to get Tsubasa. We'll start with the Stalker. Stalker will move 3 hexes. Let's see. Wyvern would like to get in close with a rifleman that has all the large lasers. This is the rifleman with 2 lasers. So the Cestus, I'd like to move into the back of the Galahad. Marauder. Could land a DFA on the Hunchback 2C. Would have to hit him in the head 3 times to kill him. And it wouldn't come until the physical attack phase. Michael Shogun will stand still and try to take out that Hunchback 2C that's approaching our our Cestus. Shoot. Wyvern, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, the Hunchback 2C is not within 4 hexes of anyone. He's at medium range. Scarponi. What else have we got? We've got Ash. Love the idea of DFAs, but they never work as nicely as I would like, and if he gets blown up before it lands, that isn't good either. I agree. They make DFAs hard to land. If you are a better pilot than your opponent, or if your opponent is prone, that does make it a lot easier to land a DFA. Neither one of those is the case in this situation, so we're going to hold off. Also, that would put me in prime range of that Hunchback 2C, which would try to blow me away before I landed it. Scarponi. What kind of hex is this? Light woods? We will go into some light woods, and we will try to PPC that Hunchback away. Oh, it's our turn to fire? Okay, Wyvern. Can we fire at the, let's start with the big guns. We'll start with Hoser. Hoser has the Ryokan, has the Galahad on 9s. Has this Galahad on 10s. We'll do 2 on 9s. We'll take this as a cooldown turn. That's not likely to hit, but we'll be ready next turn. Let's see, the Warhammer with the PPCs, we've got him at the Hunchback on 5, so that'll be a PPC, that'll be 2 ERs, no. ERs are not heat efficient enough at 5 to 7, we'll take the 3 to 5s at 7. And we'll throw in a couple of 9s just to be heat neutral. No. We'll do 1 ER medium, 2 ER medium. And the ER smalls on 9s, we'll do a bevy of those. That's 10 heat for 5 each at 9s. Or 15 heat for 15 damage at 5s. Alright, we'll do 1 PPC. We'll do 1 ER. No. Okay, what's going on with my keyboard? Alright, Sky Pony. Starting over. We'll do the Hunchback on a 5 and a 7 and a bunch of 7s and a 9. That works for me. That is what I was trying to do. Let's see, the Cestus into the back of the Galahad. We've got him on 6s and 5s and 4s and 6s. Yeah, we'll go 6 heat over into the back of a Galahad. We'll maybe hit him in the Gauss rifle and blow something up if we're lucky. Let's see. The Stalker only has the Hunchback, and that only on 10s. And 12s, we'll go 4 heat over on 12s. Okay, Ash has no one in sight. Let's see, our Marauder. Into the back of the Rifleman. That is the Rifleman 2C. That's the one with the Ultra AC 20s. So maybe we'll get an ammo hit. Or we can go for this guy in the back and try to finish him off. Oh, do we already have a large pulse laser down? Okay, well. We'll skip a 2. We'll skip a pair of... We'll skip A4. Okay, we'll go with everything but a large pulse and an ER medium. Or both large pulses and an ER medium. We'll hold back. That'll give us 4 heat over into the back of the Rifleman. That's the Rifleman with the pulse lasers. The Hunchback is probably the bigger threat. We'll do 1 ER medium. And 1 medium pulse. That'll give us 3 heat over, small pulse. Wyvern at the Rifleman 2C. That is the one with the large pulse lasers. So we will unload into his behind. or 2 heat over. Last but not least, Tsubasa and the Grizzly. We've got the Lynx on 10s. We got the Hunchback on 9s. That'll be the Hunchback on 9 with the Gauss Rifle, and a 7, and an 11, and a 9. Alright, lots of people got it eliminated. The Kentaro selected SRM6 Narc potential due to better damage potential. Hoser missed on a pair of 9s. The Phoenix Hawk hits Wyvern in the CT critical, critting on her engine, his engine. That's no good. Through armor crit on the engine. And a machine gun to the right torso. The snub nose missed, fortunately. Rifleman 2C at Tentacle Shogun hits on the center torso and the center torso and the center torso for 25. Down to 9 armor remaining from 34 real quick. And the left leg from 32 to 22 also real quick. Scarponi hits the Hunchback in the chest with an ER PPC down to 8 armor. ER medium to the right leg crit, critting on a jump jet. Medium laser to the left arm, medium laser to the left torso. The Rifleman hits the Marauder in the... does not hit on 7s. Does not hit anything on 7s. Missed everything on 7s. Wow. The Galahad hits Wyvern in the right torso on a 3 for 10 down to 12 armor. Down center torso takes another 17 down to 8. Right arm takes 7 down to 15. Small pulse to the left torso down to 21. Small pulse to the chest down to 5. He got a couple headshots and now he's missing everything. He's not missing everything. I mean... 0 out of 2 on 9s is not bad. A 9 is a 25% shot. So I wasn't expecting anything major. Must have learned how to shoot from Hoser missing all those 7s. Yeah, but these are 9s. 9s are not as bad. The Galahad with the 4 large pulse lasers hits Wyvern in the right torso, chest, and right arm. Chest is down to 8, right arm is down to 15. Small pulse to the chest down to 5. We did that. Cestus at the Galahad hits him in the head with an ER large, crits on his sensors. Nice. So this glass spider is now going to have a +2 to hit on everything. So he's going to be effectively a gunner A5. And a medium pulse to the right torso rear. The Galahad hits the Marauder in the chest for another 15. Crits on his engine. Crits Gauss Rifle to the left leg. Glancing blow down to 15. The Stalker at the Hunchback, left torso rear. Crits on his AC-20 and an engine crit. Missed with everything else. The Hunchback 2C hits Wyvern in the right arm with an Ultra AC-20. Critting on his upper arm. ER medium to the right arm destroys the right arm, transfers into the right torso. ER medium to the right arm transfers into the right torso, leaves us with 4 armor. The Lynx misses the PPC and the large laser at the Stalker. The Marauder misses the ER medium pulses. Go into the Hunchback's left arm destroyed, critting on his hand and transferring into the left torso. Medium pulse to the right leg, medium pulse to the head, leaves it with 1 armor. Lena needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets a 3. Medium pulse to the right torso, small pulse to the right torso, leaves it with 2 armor remaining. The Kentaro missed with everything on 12s, except for 3 LRMs on an 8 to Wyvern's left leg, down to 23 armor there. Wyvern at the Rifleman hits with 4, 7, 11, 14, 18, 22, 31, 34, 38, 41 missiles. Blows off his right leg and leaves his right torso with 6 armor. The through armor crit on the right leg is going to be pretty critical. He is definitely going down this turn. The Ryokan hits Wyvern in the right torso, down to 9 structure, and an ER large to the left leg. Would have been the head, but we rerolled it with some edge. Left leg is down to 13. ER medium to the left leg down to 6. ER medium to the chest would have been the head, but we have 2 edge remaining. 7 damage to the chest, critting on his center torso, SRM4, and gyro. Oof. Wyvern might be going down this turn. The Grizzly misses the Hunchback with the Gauss rifle, hits with the large pulse laser to the left torso rear, destroying it and transferring into the center torso rear down to 15 structure. The Lynx misses the Grizzly on an 11. The Hunchback stays standing. The Hunchback stays standing. The Rifleman goes down. Takes 7 to the right torso rear, down to 3 armor. And stays conscious. Does take his first consciousness check. Wyvern, with the gyro hit and 120 plus damage. Needs a 12, gets a 10. Goes on his left side, takes 7 damage to the left arm and chest, critting on his engine. Needs a 12 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 9. Needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets the 3. Tentacle Shogun took 40 plus, needs a 5, gets a 9. Right, where is Wyvern? Alright. So we took 2 engine and a gyro crit, as well as an SRM4. 2 engine hits and a gyro hit. We might as well eject. Alright. Physical attacks. Let's see what we got. Warhammer does not have any physical attacks. Ash does not have any physical attacks. Tsubasa or Tugyu does not have any physical attacks. Tsubasa does not have any physical attacks. Cestus does not have any physical attacks, nor does Hoser. Rifleman 2C kicks Wyvern in the left torso for 13, down to 8. That's fine. Wyvern was going to eject anyways. Kentaro's at 4 heat. Hunchback 2C is up to 8. Galahad is up to 4. Rifleman 2C is up to 10. Wyvern is up to 12. Avoids his Inferno ammo explosion. Fortunately. Warhammer is at 3 heat. Stalker is at 4. Marauder is at 8. Cestus is at 6. Yeah, we took some engine hits this turn. We are overheating. We've won initiative, fortunately, and we are at 93. They're at 92%. All right, Hoser. The problem is they're all ganging up on these 4, and they're ignoring these 4. Alright, Stalker, moving on the Lynx. Ash. And we get eyes on the Kentaro. It's not quite in his back, but it is medium range. Tsubasa and the Grizzly. Jump into those woods, get eyes on the Galahad maybe. Alright, Cestus into the light woods against the Rifleman 2C. Galahad. Okay, Warhammer into the Rifleman, which is prone. Tentacle Shogun. Into the back of the Phoenix Hawk Special. And Wyvern is gonna have to eject with a two engine hits and a gyro hit. Let's actually get up first if we can. Needs a 6. Succeeds, gets a 7. Okay, and then we can eject. Okay, can we not eject after standing up? Okay, it's our turn to fire. We did not try to do a careful stand. Was that all we had? Was 2 movement points? Oh, yeah. Because we were overheating, we were down to a 2-3 movement profile, so standing up was all we had. Okay, well, good to know. We'll start with Hoser. Hoser will start on the links. We've got him on 6s, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 on the links. The Warhammer. Alright, this is seriously ridiculous. Keyword unit tooltip. Okay. Pop-up delay. Go 3,000. And for dismiss, we'll go 100. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, well, it didn't like that, but I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. Okay, so the Stalker at the links. We've got him on 9s. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, well. We'll be doing the mediums and the SRMs. We'll do, I think, 2 ER mediums and 5 standard mediums and 1, 2 SRMs. And the Galahad on a 14. That's not gonna happen. Okay, well, I guess that'll be everything on the links. Oh, not the ER larges. Not the ER larges, that's a bit much. The ER mediums and the 4 mediums in the arms and the 5 mediums in the head. No. Yeah, no. Hold on. 10, 25, 38, 33. Plus movement 35. Okay. So we're 1 heat under to fire everything except the larges and the LRMs. Right, the Warhammer into the back of the Rifleman. We've got him on 2s. The Galahad is a threat, the Rifleman 2C. Right, this is the Rifleman 2C that we need to take care of. Okay, so. Yeah, that's gonna be everything but the ERPPCs. We'll go 9 heat over against that Rifleman, yeah, for sure. The Cestus will also go overheat against that Rifleman. We've got him on a 5 with the Gauss rifle, 5 with the ER large, 5 with the large. That's a 8. We'll go 11 heat over to try to take out that Rifleman. Yeah, for sure. Wyvern at the Ryokan on 4s. Yeah, we'll try to knock him down. Oh, wait. Yeah, we've taken 2 engine crits. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 SRM 4s. That's 16 SRMs. That's 32 damage. That's not necessarily enough to knock him down. That said, Ash at the Kentaro, we've got him on 6s. So yes, let's absolutely unload on him. The Marauder into the back of the Rifleman. Into the left side of the Rifleman. That's the one with the large pulse lasers. So we'll skip the large pulse. We'll do ER mediums on 5s. We'll do medium pulses. No. We'll do just the medium pulses on 3s. That'll be 1, 2, 3 of those, 4 of those. We'll go 6 heat over for those. And Tsubasa, with the Gauss rifle, has the Hunchback 2C on a 7. And a 5, and a 7, and a 7. And that Hunchback, we're not paying enough attention to that Hunchback. He needs 2, 3, 4, 5. That's medium range. Medium range is 6s. Oh, 5s because he's gunnery. 5, 6, 7, 8, because he jumped. Nine for our TMM. Okay, well. That's gonna suck. That's gonna suck a lot. Let's see. The Ryokan hits Scarponi in the left arm for 10 down to 12. Hits him in the right arm for 7 down to 15. Hits him in the left torso for 7 down to 13. The Lynx hits Tugyu in the right and left torso with a large and medium laser down to 19 and 22 in those locations. Hits him in the right leg and the left arm for 5 each. Does not get the crit on the left arm. Poser at the Lynx hits him in the left torso, hits him in the center torso, down to 11 structure, down to 13 armor. And it hits him in the right torso for 15, down to 5. The Lynx is hurting across his torso, but he's still standing. Well, maybe. He might have fallen down. The Phoenix Hawk special missed. The Rifleman 2C hits the Cestus in the right leg for 10 down to 20. Hits the Cestus in the right leg for 10 down to 10. Costs us a point of edge to avoid hitting us in the head. The Stalker hits the Lynx in the right leg, the left arm with the ER mediums for 7 each. Hits him in the right leg, the center torso for 5 each. The right leg again down to 6, and the SRM 6s both miss. The Rifleman 2C missed on a quartet of 9s at Scarponi on the LR Ultra AC2s. The Galahad hits Scarponi in the chest and the left leg with large pulse laser, medium pulses to the chest and left leg as well. Small pulse to the chest leaves us with 8 armor remaining. Scarponi at the Rifleman hits him in the left leg, hits him in the chest, hits him in the left leg, hits him in the chest, hits him in the left torso, hits him in the right torso, critting on his heat sink and a jump jet, hits him in the right torso, critting on a double heat sink, down to 9 structure. ER smalls to the right arm, left leg, right torso down to 4, right torso down to 0, transferring into the center torso. Blowing off his right arm, ER small laser to the left leg down to 2 armor. The Galahad misses the Cestus on a pair of 10s. The Cestus hits the Rifleman in the chest, would have been the right torso, hits him in the chest for 15 down to 11. ER large to the left arm down to 7. Large laser to the left leg down to 9. Medium pulse laser to the left arm destroys it and transfers into nothing. And a medium laser to the left torso down to 0 armor. Wyvern at the Stormcrow hits with 4, 7, 11, 15 missiles. That's 30 points of damage. Left arm is down to 10. Chest is down to 19. The Hunchback missed with the Ultra AC 20 on an 11. The R mediums both miss on 9s. The Archer, that's Ash, at the Kentaro hits him in the left torso down to 8, the left leg down to 18, the left torso down to 3, right torso, left torso into the narc capable ammo of the LRM-5, blowing up for 110 damage. Kentaro destroyed by ejection. SRM ammo blows up. Center torso destroyed. Okay. And then the Marauder at the Rifleman 2C hits him in the chest, hits him in the head, forcing his second consciousness check. Hits him in the left torso, left leg. The Kentaro hits the Marauder in the left arm for 3. The Grizzly hits the Hunchback in the left torso for 15 with the Gauss Rifle. Transfers into the center torso. The large pulse laser missed. The medium pulse laser to the center torso leaves him with 0. The Hunchback 2C took 20 plus, needs a 5, gets a 5. The Warhammer needs a 7, gets a 6. Scarponi goes down, takes 7 damage to the chest and right torso, down to 3 on the chest. Needs a 7 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 5. Needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets an 8. Scarponi is wounded. The Stalker, 20 plus, needs a 5, gets a 9. The Cestus, 20 plus, needs a 4, gets an 8. The Lynx, 60 plus, needs a 7, gets a 9. The Ryokan, 20 plus, needs a 5, gets a 7. Ash will not be doing physical attacks. The Stalker, to you, will be kicking on a 7. Yeah, we'll kick on a 7. Tentacle Shogun will kick the Phoenix Hawk in the back on a 6. Tsubasa will skip his physical attacks. Cestus will skip his physical attacks. Hoser will skip his physical attacks. The Lynx kicks the Stalker in the right leg for 11 out of 14. The Stalker misses his kick on the Lynx with a 7 and gets a 3. Tentacle Shogun kicks the Phoenix Hawk in the left leg for 15 down to 5. The Stalker stays standing. The Phoenix Hawk stays standing. Kaboom, yeah. If we could just do that consistently. The Lynx is cool. The Hunchback 2C needs a 6+ to avoid shutting down. Gets the 6. He's at 18 heat. The Galahad is at 30. Sinks 32 heat. He is holding at 4. The Rifleman 2C is holding it. Is dropped down to 6. Wyvern is up to 8. Scarponi is up to 9. Tentacle Shogun is down to 6. Cestus is up to 11. Hoser is up to 12. We've got 91% of our forces remaining. They've got 78% of theirs remaining. We have lost initiative going into round 6. Alright, Hoser will walk forward 1 hex. Is that even worth it? Yeah, we'll walk forward 1 hex with Hoser. He can cool down this turn. It's no big deal. They can all avoid his shots, which they are likely to do. Tsubasa and the Grizzly will run forward 5 hexes. Oh, there's the Thug. Okay, okay. The Cestus would like to advance and try to protect Scarponi if we can. We are running hot, so we're only a 2-3 movement profile. We'll walk. Tentacle Shogun will jump into the face of this Ryokan. Actually, hold on. Need a 5 to hit. Doing 23 and landing 15 on ourselves. ER large, 3 ER mediums. How many heat sinks? 44 heat sinks. So that's 24 plus 15, that's 40. Yeah, he can shoot all that stuff every turn. Yes, I know it's on the punch table, but if he can knock us out of the air, or if any of them can knock us out of the air, then we won't land it. On a 5. We're doing a DFA. It's not usually good, but in this case we've got it on a 5. We'll see. Alright, Wyvern coming to confront this Hunchback 2C face to face. Which is more powerful, a bunch of SRMs or an Ultra IC-20? Scarponi. We get into the side of this Galahad, we need a 4 to get up. Ash. Ash, we need you to move. You'll pick up this pilot this turn. The Stalker, the Lynx 1 initiative, so we don't know where the Lynx is going, so we'll just advance 1, maybe 2 hexes. Where's the Lynx going? Okay, Rifleman 2C ejects. Yeah, they might blast me out of the air, we'll see. Hwasun Hawker ejects from the Rifleman 2C, fails, but ejects successfully. Scarponi gets up on a 4, gets a 9. Alright, Hoser does not have the Lynx in sight. How have we got the Black Knight over here? We got the Black Knight on 8s, so that's our backup. We've got the Warhammer on 8s. We've got the Galahad on 9s. We've got the Galahad on 9s. We'll do a pair of 8s. No. We'll do a pair of 8s at the Warhammer and cool down this turn. Wyvern is going to be the only one shooting at the Hunchback, so we'll go ahead and do that now. We'll fire 7, that'll slow us down next turn, that'll give us a heat penalty next turn, but hopefully we can finish off that Hunchback this turn. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, he's doing a DFA, so he can't shoot. Okay, well. Hacker sprinted. The Stalker. Stalker's got eyes on literally nobody. Tsubasa literally has eyes on the pilot and a Lynx. So we will take a shot at the Lynx on an 8. The Cestus into the Galahad. On 8s, that'll be like everything. Skip the ER large, 8s and 6s. We'll go 4 heat over on 8s and 6s. Alright, Hoser lands 1 of 2 on 8s. Lands the PPC to the Warhammer C2 to the right arm, down to 5 armor. Ryokan hits Wyvern in the left leg, critting on his hip and lower leg. Wyvern is going down again. ER large to the center torso. If we fall on the CT, we'll have one structure left. Phoenix Hawk special, misses with everything. Wyvern at the Hunchback, hits him in the center torso, crits on his engine and gyro, and destroys the Hunchback by engine destruction. Okay, the rest of this is all moot. That said, we got the right torso, blew up the ammo, damn it. Rifleman 2C missed the Cestus. The Galahad hits the Warhammer in the chest, crits on his gyro and engine twice, down to 15 structure. Left torso, right arm, left leg, left arm down to 9, left leg down to 6, left torso down to 3. The Galahad missed the Warhammer on a pair of 8s. Tsubasa hits the Lynx with the Gauss rifle to the left leg, down to 8 armor. The Black Knight missed Hoser with the BBC on a 12. The Cestus hits the Galahad in the chest with the Gauss rifle, down to 15. Medium pulse laser to the right arm, medium laser to the chest, down to 10. All those SRAM 4s are dangerous to the salvage. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. If we had stopped a little bit short, we could have kept some ammo. Black Knight, Cestus, Warhammer, missed Hoser on a pair of 11s with his PPCs. The Lynx hits Tsubasa in the left torso with a PPC, down to 13. The Galahad needs a 5, gets a 2 to stay standing, takes 6 to the arms, down to 8 on that right arm. And needs a 5 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 7. Wyvern, with a hip actuator, a leg actuator, and 20 plus, needs a trio of 10s, gets an 11 and a 7. Lands on his left leg, crits on his foot and his upper leg again. 2 to the left arm, needs a 10 to avoid hurting the pilot, needs a 5 to stay conscious, gets a 6. Scarponi with a gyro hit and 20 plus goes down, takes 7 to the CTR and the left arm, and Scarponi needs an 8 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 9. So we're about to have 2 people ejecting, Scarponi and... Okay, the Marauder, DFA on the Stormcrow, needs a 5, hits an 8. Crits on his left arm twice, left and right torso, and the right arm once. We take 10 to the left leg and 5 to the right leg. 10, the left leg is down to 5. Marauder is displaced. Marauder stays standing. Ryokan took 20 plus, needs a 7, gets a 6, falls down on his right leg instead of torso. And Deborah needs a 7 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets an 8. Okay, the Galahads are at 0 and 4. The Rifleman is at 0. The Warhammer is at 0. Wyvern is at 12. Needs a 4 plus to avoid an Inferno ammo explosion. Succeeds. The Thug is at 2. The Black Knight is at 12. Scarponi is at 0. Ash and the Stalker are 0. Tentacle Shogun, Grizzly, and Cestus. Cestus is at 4. Lynx is at 6. Phoenix Hawk is at 7. Hoser is down to 0. We need 2 guys to eject. We've got 88%, they've got 72%. We've lost initiative again, of course, because how do they have a +4 to their initiative? Jesus. +4? +4. Oh, no. They have +4 to their initiative. Sure, why not? Our +2 is nothing in comparison to that. They rolled a 14. We could tie that if we rolled a 12. We're at 88%, they're at 72%. Wyvern, we're just gonna have you eject. Needs a 6. Warhammer, with his gyro hit, 2 engine hits, is also going to be ejecting. Needs a 7. Ash will advance 3 hexes. Tugyu will advance 2 hexes. Tsubasa will advance 2 hexes. Okay, Hoser will advance 2 hexes and try to catch that Lynx. He's got Hopping Jack, so we can go ahead and we can jump into the Ryokan. And the Cestus. We can just turn around and wail on that Galahad. Alright, Wyvern. Ejects. Hunchback flees the battlefield. Scarponi takes 2 hits, destroyed by ejection, but he's gonna be okay. Galahad gets up, and the Ryokan gets up, barely. Alright, starting with Hoser. We've got the Lynx on 6s, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll do 3 hits on the Lynx on 6s. The Stalker cannot hit the Lynx, so we will instead concentrate on the other Lynx. We've got him on 10s and 10s and a 12. And a quartet of 10s, that'll go 7 heat over. Captain French will skip his movement. Captain Scarponi will skip his attack. Ash has the Ryokan on 9s, has the Galahad on 11s. Yeah, that'll be a bunch of 9s. Followed by Tentacle Shogun, who will fire, I think, a bunch of pulse lasers. We'll go 4 heat over on pulse lasers. Tsubasa with the Grizzly. We've got the Lynx on 8s and 6s and 4s. And the Cestus at the Galahad on 5s. And 4s and 2s. Do we add the ER large? No, we really can't, because that would put us 9 heat over. Oh, the Cestus went prone. Well, that's no good. All the Arclanners, all they do is fight. Yeah, I know. Hoser, 2 out of 3 on 6s, lands the right torso and the right leg critical for no effect. Oh, well, did crit on his foot. So the Lynx is down to 3 on his right torso, down to 4 on his right leg, and critted on his foot. The Phoenix Hawk missed on 9s and 7s. The Stalker at the Lynx hits him in the left leg, hits him in the head, down to 2 structure. Penelope takes her first consciousness check. ER medium laser to the right torso, to the left leg. Down to 13 and 9 in those locations. LRM 5s on 10s. Lands 3 to the right leg, 2 to the right torso, and 3 to the left arm. Not bad. Rifleman 2C with the Ultra AC2s, missed on 7s except for 2 points to the Cestus's center torso down to 30, 2 points to the Cestus's center torso down to 28, 2 points to the Cestus's left arm down to 18. The Galahad at the Cestus hits the left torso and the left arm down to 12 and 8. Medium pulse lasers to the left arm and left torso down to 1 and 5. Small pulse laser to the chest down to 25. The other Galahad hits nothing on 10s, was shooting at Tentacle Shogun with both Gauss rifles. The Lynx hits Tsubasa in the right leg for 10 down to a 17. Hits Tsubasa in the right torso and right arm for 5 each, down to 18 and 17. The Ryokan hits the Cestus in the right leg with an ER large and a left arm with another ER large, down to 1 structure. ER medium to the right torso rear, ER medium to the right torso rear critical, goes internal but no crits. The ER medium to the right arm goes down to 13 armor. Ash at the Ryokan hits him in the right leg for 5, the left arm for 5, center torso for 5, but nothing internal. The Lynx hits Hoser in the right torso with a PPC, down to 14 armor there. Tentacle Shogun hits the Ryokan in the chest and the left torso for 7 each, down to 6 and 3. The left arm destroyed, transfers into the left torso, down to 0. Right arm down to 6. Right arm down to 8 structure. Tsubasa at the Lynx hits him in the right arm for 15, down to 3. Large pulse laser to the left torso, down to 10. Medium pulse laser to the right arm, down to 5 structure. Small pulse laser to the left arm, down to 12 armor. The Thug misses Ash on a pair of 12s. The Cestus. The Cestus hits the Galahad in the chest with a Gauss rifle, down to 15. Crits on his gyro. And a large laser to the left torso. Medium pulse to the center torso. Crits on his engine. Medium laser to the right leg for 5, down to 23. The Warhammer C2 misses the Stalker with a pair of ERPBCs, misses with a pair of medium pulse lasers. The Lynx took 60 plus, needs a 7, gets a 3, goes down on his right arm, destroys it, and transfers into the center torso. Penelope needs a 7 to avoid hurting the pilot in the fall, gets a 10. The Galahad makes 2 piloting checks, gyro hit and 20 plus damage, needs a pair of 8s, gets a 7, goes down on his CT, takes 3 structure remaining and 1 to the left leg, down to 27. The Grizzly needs a 4, gets a 7. The Cestus needs a 7, gets a 6. Goes down on his left arm and his right arm. Destroys the left arm completely. Transfers into the left torso, down to 4. Needs a 7 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 9. The Lynx took 20 plus. Needs a 6, gets a 4. Falls on his head. Takes 5 damage, 4 armor remaining, takes a hit to the pilot, needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets a 4. He takes 1 to the left arm, and then makes a seatbelt check with a 6, gets a 10. And then the Ryokan took 40 plus, needs a 6, gets a 9. And yes, Hoser was hit. He took a PPC from a Lynx. I can find it. Yeah, there it is. Took 10 to the right torso, 14 armor remaining. Somehow I was thinking Hoser had more than 24 armor on his torsos. I remember him being a pretty tough nut to crack, but 24 armor does not seem like that much right now. Okay. Ash will not be doing physical attacks. Tentacle Shogun will be kicking the Ryokan on a 4. Tsubasa will be kicking the Lynx. Oh, can't punch or kick. Is he higher than me? Dang it. The Galahad kicks the Cestus in the right leg, gets him in the upper leg and the foot, probably taking the Cestus down. Tentacle Shogun kicks the Ryokan in the right leg down to 0 armor, and the Ryokan needs a 3, gets a 6. Okay, the Cestus is already down, but he's not going to be getting up if he loses his right leg. The Lynx is at 4 heat, the Galahad is at 10. The Warhammer is at 3. The Stalker is up to 7. Tentacle Shogun is up to 4. The Lynx is holding at 6. Stormcrow is up to 3, and the Phoenix Hawk is down to 6. We've lost initiative because we rolled worse than them, and we have less of a advantage. We've got them at 60.96% of their forces. They've got us at 70.3% of ours. If we can take out another 10% of their forces, we can call this a win. But honestly, I'm not holding my breath. Scarponi will move. I guess French is unconscious. Hoser. Move forward 3 hexes. The Stalker. Stalker will advance on the Lynx. The Lynx is worth... Lynx is worth 1,500 points, so that's like 5% of their total forces. So yeah, we'll go ahead and try to take out the Lynx this turn. Ash with the lasers will come down here and try to take out the Galahad or the Rifleman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Dang. Well, we'll try. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, we can maybe get the special here today. The Cestus. No arm. 2 missing actuators. Is effectively a 2-3 movement profile. So we can get up, we can maybe move 1 hex. Or we can just turn. Let's see, Tsubasa, can we take on the Thug, maybe? Yeah, we'll jump into that Rifleman right there and maybe try to do some damage there, and then the Cestus can also eject. Yes, needs a 6. Shouldn't be a problem. Lynx gets up. Galahad fails to get up. Takes 6 to the right torso and right arm. Does not hurt the pilot. Needs a 4, gets an 8. Vernita ejects, needs a 6, gets a 5. Takes 1 hit in the ejection, I presume, and successfully ejects. Okay, so we're going to skip firing there. We're going to skip firing there. Ash at the Ryokan on 8s. Or we've got the Phoenix Hawk on 7s. We've got the Galahad on 7s. We got the pilot on 6s, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do the special Phoenix Hawk on 7s. Let's see, the Stalker into the front of the Lynx. We'll skip the ER larges. We'll do the ER mediums, the regular mediums, and the SRMs. That puts us 2 heat over. And then we'll have Hoser follow that up with some shots into the back of the Lynx. We'll do 3 shots on 3s. The Marauder has the Galahad on 4s, has the Rifleman on 5s. This Rifleman is not the one that's a threat, though. This Rifleman is the one with the Ultra AC 2s. This Galahad is the one with the Gauss rifles. So we'll try to knock him. We'll skip the ER large, or the large pulse, and we'll do the ER medium. No. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 on 4s and try to knock him over. Then Tsubasa and the Grizzly. Last but not least, we've got him on 9s. No, we got this guy on 8s. That'll be 8s and 4s and a 6. Okay, the Thug selected SRM6 Narc due to better damage potential, even though we haven't been narked. 24 is standard for the awesome? Really? I could have sworn it was like 30. Okay, the Thug hits Tsubasa in the left torso for 10, down to 3. Missed with the other PPC, missed with the 2 SRM6s. Good deal. Ash at the Phoenix Hawk hits him in the right arm, hits him in the left leg, hits him in the center torso. Wow. 3 out of 8 on 7s. That is less than average. Significantly less than average. So average would have been 58% of 8. Oh, we should have hit with 6, not 3. But it's whatever, you know. It's cool, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. The Phoenix Hawk missed on 9s and 7s. The Stalker at the Lynx hits him in the right arm and the left arm, down to 3 there. Medium laser to the right arm, medium laser to the right torso. Destroys the Lynx by engine destruction. Huzzah. Rifleman 2C hits Ash in the right arm for 2, down to 20. The Hoser at the Lynx hits him in the center torso rear, hits him in the center torso rear, hits him in the center torso rear, and that is a kill on the Lynx for Hoser. The Galahad missed on a pair of 12s. Tentacle Shogun hits the Galahad in the chest for 7, the right leg for 7, the center torso for 7, the left arm for 7. So that is 28 damage to the Galahad. That might be enough to knock him down. The Lynx hits Tsubasa in the right torso with a medium laser, and the right torso with a medium laser down to 8, and the right torso with a medium laser down to 3. Wow, okay. So 18 to 3, and just real quick. He shot Hoser, so Hoser got motivated. Was that the same guy that shot you, the Lynx? Let's see. Hold on. Stalker hit the Lynx. Rifleman 2C. 124. 24. Oh, but you don't get the kill though. The kill goes to Tugyu because he got the engine destruction. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Tsubasa hits the Lynx 128 in the chest and the left arm in the center torso. The Ryokan hits Ash in the right leg for 7 down to 23. Lynx 128 does not go down. Galahad 132 does not go down, or does go down. Takes 6 to the right center torso and left torso, down to 11 on that CT. Does not hurt the pilot in the fall. Tsubasa needs a 4, gets a 5. So yeah, you got the destruction, got the kill, but you got the utter destruction. Yeah, you got the engine kill, you got the center torso kill. Okay, we're gonna hatchet the Ryokan on a 5. Twice, hopefully. Tentacle Shogun will kick the Rifleman on a 6. Okay, hatchet attacks to the center torso and right arm. 9 structure remaining, 1 armor on the right torso. The Lynx kicks the Grizzly in the left leg for 11 on a 16. Tentacle Shogun missed. The Rifleman 2C missed. The Ryokan kicks the Archer in the right leg for 11 on 12. The Rifleman stays standing. Ash stays standing. Tentacle Shogun stays standing. Grizzly stays standing. Ryokan stays standing. Okay, well, no one went down. We've got the Thug at 4 hit, we've got the Stalker at 2, we've got Tentacle Shogun at 6, Tsubasa at 1, and the Phoenix Hawk at 7. We've got them down to 53%, 1 more round, and we should have it. They've got us down to 63% of our forces, which is about the lowest I've ever seen and still called it a win. Alright, well, Captain Scarponi will be moving towards the edge. Hoser will be moving towards the center over here. Lord, they just have so many mechs over here. We've got Tentacle Shogun, we've got Scarponi, and we've got Ash. They've got a Ryokan, a Rifleman, 2 Galahads, and a Phoenix Hawk. Oops. Did not mean to hit the mic with my ring. Sorry about that. Let's see. Scarponi can jump into the back of this Galahad. Oh, the Phoenix Hawk is trying to get in the back of Tsubasa. Let's see, the Stalker will get into medium laser range of this Warhammer. Oh yeah. I think I like our odds there. And then the Archer, of course, will... Yeah, Ash is gonna have to engage at close range. I know she doesn't love it, but the Galahad and the Galahad both get up, needing 4s and 7s and all that good stuff. Alright, starting with Hoser at the Warhammer on 4s. We'll do 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do the Stalker at the Warhammer, and we'll do skip, skip, skip. 1, skip, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll skip the ER larges. Do the ER mediums on 6s, and the mediums on 6s, and the SRMs on 6s. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3 LRMs on 10s. Okay, Marcus will not be shooting. Ash. Well, we've got the Galahad on 5s, we've got the Galahad on 7s, we've got the Lynx on 9s. So that'll be the Galahad on 5s, I presume. That'll be all of them. The Marauder also at the Galahad on 3s with the pulse laser. We'll go 1 heat over for that. Or 1 heat under 12, I mean, for that. Tsubasa at the Thug on 7s. We got a 7, we've got a 3, 3, 3, and a 5. Oh, I saw red, and I didn't see whose it was. Alright, Hoser at the Warhammer. To the right torso, the right arm, critting on his shoulder, and the left arm. The Black Knight missed with everything on 9s and 11s. The Thug hits Tsubasa in the left torso down to 8 structure. The Stalker at the Warhammer hits him in the chest with an ER medium. Left leg, left arm, right leg, left arm with medium lasers. Right arm destroyed, transfers into the right torso, critting on his double heat sink. And then 9 SRMs to the right side. The left arm, left torso, left arm down to 4, right leg down to 8. Right torso down to 9, and crits on the SRM 6 ammo. The Warhammer C2 is gaboom. Destroyed by ejection. Warhammer C2 hits the Stalker on the right torso with an ER PVC down to 4 armor. Medium pulse to the left leg, medium pulse to the left leg. Streak 6 all over, down to 0 on that right torso. The Ryokan misses the Archer on a 7. The Phoenix Hawk hits the Grizzly in the center torso for 5, down to 26. And Tsubasa in the Grizzly takes 10 to the left arm from a snub nose, down to 12. Ash's Archer at the Galahad, left arm, left torso, center torso, destroys the Galahad. Nice. The Marauder at the Galahad, right leg. The Galahad at the Archer hits center torso, down to 18. The Grizzly hits the Thug, right leg for 25, left leg for 7. Small pulse to the center torso rear, and an LRM-10 takes 3 to the right arm. The Lynx hits Ash in the left leg for 5, down to 25. The Thug stays standing, Ash stays standing, the Stalker stays standing, Tsubasa stays standing. Physical attacks, Ash will be hatcheting the Lynx twice on 6s. Yes, definitely. Tsubasa will be kicking the Thug for 14 on the rear kick table. Alright, we hatchet the Lynx in the right and left leg, down to 7 structure on that left leg. The Lynx misses a kick on the Archer. The Grizzly kicks the Thug in the left leg for 14, down to 13. The Special Phoenix Hawk kicks the Grizzly in the right leg for 9, down to 8. The Lynx needs a pair of 5s, gets a 10 and 11. The Thug needs a 5, gets an 8. Tsubasa needs a 3, gets a 12. We've got the Black Knight at 6 heat, we've got the Stalker at 3, we've got our Marauder at 11, Tsubasa is at 1, and their Phoenix Hawk is up to 9 heat. We've got them down to 34% of their forces. We can finally call this a victory. After like however many weeks it's been. And I do apologize for missing last week. So, I mean, like I said, things were out of my control. But it does feel as though we've been on this mission for like 5 weeks. Yes, we finally controlled the battlefield. We've got an inoperable Wyvern's Archer, we've got an inoperable Warhammer, we've got an inoperable Cestus. We've got a Marauder and a Grizzly with heavy damage, and we've got a Stalker with light damage. Only 2 mechs undamaged, and that's Ash's Archer and Hoser's Awesome. And Hoser's Awesome, I know for a fact, is not completely undamaged. Wyvern took 2 hits, Scarponi took 2 hits. The Lynx escaped, the Galahad escaped, the Rifleman escaped, the Thug, the Black Knight, the Ryokan, and the Phoenix Hawk all escaped. The Hunchback 2C is inoperable. Yeah, it's got no ammo. There's nothing left. Large pulses and medium pulses. This is the one with the Gauss rifles. The one with the Gauss rifles got away. The one with the pulse lasers, which, honestly, we do need a couple large pulse lasers. Alright, we captured the pilot of the Hunchback 2C, we captured the pilot of the Lynx, we captured the pilot of the Rifleman 2C, we captured the pilot of the Ryokan and the Thug? No, we didn't. Okay, Tugyu got 2 kills, the Lynx and the Warhammer. Ash got 2 kills, the Galahad and the Kentaro. And Wyvern got a kill with the Hunchback 2C. Wait a minute. Was it the Galahad? Wasn't the Warhammer? Was it the Lynx? Hold on. I guess it was the Lynx that shot Hoser, and then Hoser took out the center torso. I was thinking it was a different mech. Little Willie, hey, how's it going? Yeah, you caught the last, like, 10 minutes of the stream. Sorry you couldn't make it sooner. The Rifleman injected. Yeah, I think so. I think he had taken, like, a gyro hit or something. But we're gonna go ahead and say that the Lynx withdrew, because he was in pretty rough shape. At least I think he was. We are going to call this a victory, finally, because we did have them down below 50%. Scarponi and Wyvern are both getting purple hearts, sure. Alright, our mechs have been recovered. We've got some people have been recovered. The repair bay is gonna have some work to do. We can get into that next week. Oh man. But for now, we're down to, oh, that's heavy industrial. 396 points of armor we have left. That is not enough. We've got some more coming in about 2 weeks. Yeah, let's go ahead and get some more of that on the way. Let's see what kind of ammunition we have. We've got 349 shots of AC-10 ammo, 275 shots of AC-20, 188 of AC-2, we can probably sell that. AC-5 ammo we're good for, AMS, Clan, and Inner Sphere we're good for, Arrow 4 ammo we're good for, Cluster Bombs Flak, AC-10, AC-20, AC-2, AC-5. Gauss Rifle, Clan, and Inner Sphere we're pretty much good for. Let's maybe get... Nah, we'll be fine in a couple of months. In a month or so. Let's go ahead and get another 80 shots on the way. Screw it. Machine gun ammo, LB-10X ammo. LB-5X ammo. Aren't Clan and Inner Sphere ammo interchangeable? I think that depends on who you talk to. In my experience, I would say they are not, but apparently by the rules of this game and from what people are telling me, they are. Particularly for LRMs. LRMs, I have confirmed, are interchangeable in this game. The LB-10X, I'm not sure about. But I know I don't have any LRM-10 Inner Sphere ammo, so we're going to buy 10 tons of that. LRM-15 ammo, we've got 143 shots. LRM-20 ammo, we've got 12 shots. LRM-5 ammo, we've got none in stock. No, we've got 2 shots in stock. We'll go ahead and buy another 10 tons of that. Narc pods, we got 60 shots. Rocket launcher ammo, smoke ammo, SRM-2 ammo, SRM-4 ammo. SRM-4 ammo we're hurting for. SRM-6 ammo we are kind of hurting for. Let's see if we can't get another 10 of those on the way. Streak 2 ammo we're good for. Tracer ammo we're good for. Ultra ammo, well, we're not great for. Okay, well, that at least is ammo. That'll all start coming in once we finish these double heat sinks. It's a good thing we've got plenty of administrators. In the meantime, we are not going to start with the repairs until next week, so we will be saving this campaign as version 3, I believe, because I did save it earlier as version 2, so yeah, that'll be V3. Alright, and I know it's just a couple of minutes early, but honestly, I'm okay with that. I'll see you guys next week. Little Willie, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you can make it there at the very end. Virank, of course, always glad to have you. You guys have a good week, and we'll see you next weekend.